This is the Shotgun City Sheriff, the law himself, Clayton Clark.
This is the young Titan, Aaron Atlas.
Hey, this is Matt Brannigan.
This is the war-bound hellhound, Bo Sword.
This is your favorite drunken pro wrestler, a.k.a. the Bud Light Brawler, Dalton Davis.
This is Lizzie Six.
This is Jake Something.
And this is the jaw-jacking, back-cracking, God-created all men equal, and then he made me the sequel, Rohit Raju, and you are listening to the Spot Show Podcast.
Spot Show Podcast.
The Spot Show Podcast.
The Spot Show Podcast.
Spot Show Podcast. Hell yeah.
The Spot Show Podcast.
The Spot Show Podcast? Yeah, that's right, I stuttered. Shut up.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Spot Show and MadBash Studios. Happy birthday to you. Michael Madrox.
Dickie Wabash.
1 year ago, MadBash Studios and the Spot Show Podcast was just simply an idea. Something that we were promoting that was going to be coming down the pipeline. We put the call out to everyone, and we said, if we get 100 likes on the MadBash Facebook page, we will release the first episode of the Spot Show Podcast early. That date was February 20th. And from that point on, we've been doing nothing but riding a high until a month and a half later, whenever you almost died. But no, man, fuck.
Dude, here we are. Like, happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary to us. Now, for those of you that are hearing this on the Patreon, you are getting to hear this a day like on the actual anniversary. But for those of you that are hearing this on the day that it comes out, it's a couple of days later. But, you know, regardless, you're listening. So let me just say, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Spot Show Podcast, an independent wrestling podcast with a few pit stops along the way.
Whoa, I got to stop you right there.
Uh-oh.
It's the anniversary episode, brother. Take it back to the old ad read. Do you still remember it?
Where I would say a professional wrestling podcast, not about professional wrestling.
There you go.
Man, that can be, we'll talk more about how that, that was originally supposed to be, because we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of this. Like that's what this is going to be, gang. This is just going to be us reminiscing, talking about the last year, the ups, the downs, the trials, the tribulations, the
blood,
good,
sweat, the tears.
The blood, sweat, the tears, the good, the bad, the ugly. The Dalton Davises, the Clayton Clarks, the Jared Savages, the Shank Barzinis, Oliver Kanes, Jay Silvas, Chris Cutlers, everyone that has been along, the EPWs, the hybrids, the Envisions, the Signal 10s, the iWows, everything.
When you put it like that, it seems like a lot.
Yeah, because it is a lot, man. We've had an incredible freshman year. We really, really have.
Oh, with no stops.
I mean, there were a few, but we just kept on trucking. We didn't let it stop us. And before I get too much into it, I just want to say thank you to you guys, because I don't want to get lost in the shuffle somewhere. Like, it's really important that I take the time to say thank you.
For everyone who believed in us. For
Yeah.
everyone who doubted us.
I want to shout out specific people, though, before we get...
Oh, you want to go specifics?
I really do. Brittany, shout out to you. Loyal listener from the very beginning. She is always listening. Every time she finds something funny from the podcast, she's sending me a message saying,
She's taking
hey,
behind-the-scene photos for us.
She's taking behind-the-scenes photos for us. She's been on car rides with us. She's done all that. Shout out to Steven Mitchell. If it wasn't for Steven, I'm gonna throw Lori and JC in there as well.
Absolutely, man.
All of EPW, because if it wasn't for EPW, there would not be MadBash Studios.
We wouldn't came back, did commentary, and actually enjoyed ourselves.
Exactly. And I'm not gonna go through and single-handedly say specific MadBash boys, because we would be here for way longer than we need to be. But just the MadBash boys in general, Cutler, Shank, Oliver, Clayton, Dalton, Jared, Silva. I said their names earlier, but I'm saying them again. Poke, Johnny Poke. Thank you, guys,
and everyone else in between.
For everyone else that's even, thank you to Logan Myers. You're not you're a MadBash boy in spirit. You worked with us, had that match with Dalton Davis. Thank you.
Thank you to Logan Madrox. Even.
Thank you to Logan Madrox. I was getting there, brother. I was getting there.
I'm just trying to ramble off names before I forget them.
Oh, because there's going to be so many. And listen, I'm just going to say that there are going to be people that we forget. There are going to be people that we forget. But I got to thank Mama and Papa Wabash.
Got to thank them.
Got to thank Mama.
In us.
Got to thank Mama and Papa. Got to thank Rivers Cuomo. Got to thank Rivers Cuomo for creating such incredible music.
We got to thank the Sandman.
We got to thank Sandman. We got to thank, here's another one, Matt Maverick.
Yes.
Shout out to Matt Maverick, man. Another one of the OG brother supporters. I'm going to give another very special shout out to someone right now. I want to give the unsung hero of MadBash, in my opinion. I got to give a shout out to Terry Stedman.
Absolutely.
He's the one that created that original turnbuckle microphone logo that is become iconic at this point. Bando, shout out to you, Bando, for being the first lady of MadBash, believing in us from the very beginning.
Yeah, Carissa. Oh, I said her real name.
Oh, we're dropping shoot skis?
Had to.
Man, you take over, man. Who else are we thanking?
Oh, dude.
Shout out to Bootleg.
Bootleg dipshit, baby.
Shout out to Bootleg, man. You've been a true good brother.
At that point,
I'm gonna give another random little shout out. Blake Reed. He was the first person that subscribed to the Patreon.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Blake Reed.
Shout out Travis Weir.
Travis. How can we forget Travis?
I mean, I was just looking back on my memories on Facebook, and we went to the New Wave Pro Show. Me, you, Travis, and Jeff, and that's where the idea is.
That's where this all really
coming back and started the ball rolling.
You talk about thank you, Jeff the Ref.
Shout out Ronnie Burke.
Shout out to Ronnie. He's been a supporter. Of course, Jason V. How can we forget Jason V?
Man.
NVW, the Halls Boys.
Hybrid Championship Wrestling.
Already said the wrestling. Yeah, well, Hybrid, yeah.
You got to give them all their flowers.
Yeah. Signal 10. Mr. H for giving us the opportunity to do commentary for that one show. Thank you to IWA Unlimited.
Thank you to Long Live Evil, even.
Thank you. Even the shout out to
love
the
and support.
Shout out to the Zooligans. Yeah, man.
We still got those hidden back burner ad reads from AXE.
Oh, we do, don't we?
We do.
We might put that on Shit Show. We might put those on Shit Show.
I mean, we could splice them in with the original sometime.
They're really funny. They're really funny. But I want to give some more shout outs. Jake Something, Rahit Raju, Matt Brannigan, Aaron Atlas, Bo Sawyer, Lizzie Six, of course, Clayton and Dalton. They're the name.
Congo Kong.
Congo Kong was one of the originals. They're the names that you would hear at the beginning of the Spot Show podcast. Thank you for providing your voices. I know that we've been that intro's getting a little bit long in the tooth. We might need to get a new one coming up here.
We got to switch it up.
But I'm always keeping the Spot Show podcast. That's right. I stuttered. Shut up. That's my favorite thing Aaron Atlas has ever. I don't know. My favorite thing Aaron Atlas has ever done, and this is just completely off subject, is when, I forget who he was wrestling. He hooked him for a pedigree. He just goes, I'm going to kill him. He is about to be dead. And then he hit I don't remember who he was.
He does it a lot, though.
So fucking funny. But, hey, we got the thank yous out of the way. So let me just go ahead and say, this episode of the Spot Show podcast is brought to you by MadBash Wrestling Ascend the Throne. Our first wrestling show. You're going to hear a little bit about that here when the ad read ski comes around. Now, because it's an ad read, here's the thing. Because it's an ad read, it will be coming out with ads. It will already be public. Oh. So I'll be able to drop the date ski in that ad read that I'm going to be doing. But for those of you that also know, this is free brewery. You're on Patreon right now. You're in the free tier, and you're probably thinking, wait a minute, why am I getting ad-free Spot Show podcast right now? Well, because it's February. We're going to be taking some select stuff. We're putting it on the free tier on the Patreon.
Little gifts for you guys.
Little gifts for you guys that thank you to support. Give you a little entice. Maybe you want to throw the $5 our way. You know, maybe you do. We never really ask that, but you do throw the $5 on our way. You're always going to get the Spot Show podcast completely ad-free and at least 24 hours early. We've also got exclusive announcements that come up on the Patreon. We've got all of that. $10 tier. We've got Big Stupid Popcorn coming out. We've just had a really rough time with our schedule lately. We haven't had a chance to record it, but we are going to. I promise you it's coming very soon. There's also, Coal Miner's Glove is available at the $5 tier. Shit Show is available on the $10 tier. There's something for everyone over on patreon.com/MadBash Studios. But here's the thing, guys. I understand it. Sometimes you don't have the extra money to toss our way. That's why February is so great, because you're getting a taste-ski of what we got going on. You can go over to the Patreon, back us completely free, not pay a dime. You're still going to get some really cool behind-the-scenes photos over on that free tier, but there's other ways you can support us. MadBashStudios.com. Go to the Facebook page, hit a like. Go to the Instagram account, give a follow. Go to your favorite podcasting platform. Leave us a written 5-star review. You can find links to all of those. MadBashStudios.com.
Man, whoo.
We're cooking with gasoline.
Speaking of cooking, man, our TikTok channel is actually kind of blowing up. We're getting thousands of views on every video we post.
Always forget to plug the TikTok.
It's the unsung hero of MadBash, man.
It's the unsung hero of social media, I feel like, because the thing with TikTok is, here's about to be old man yells at clouds. This is about to be me. I made a decision long ago. I wasn't going to learn any new social media, and TikTok is the solidifying reason, because the way that you feel like TikTok is so, I don't even know the proper word. There's a lot that you got to do to be successful on TikTok.
You gotta have a college degree, basically.
Pretty much. Like, there will be, and you know what? There may already be at this point. I don't fucking know. College courses of how to be a TikTok star. I would not be. I'm going to Google that right now. Vamp while I Google.
They got social media director college courses. I know that for a fact. So TikTok should follow underneath that category.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same concept.
But as for like an actual TikTok course, I'm sure Japan has it.
TikTok college course. I don't think that it's necessary. Okay, so TikTokUniversity.com is apparently a thing where
really
they just teach you straight from there. But
watch these videos. We'll give you a certification for $250.
Have we talked about like all the shit with YouTube about like how the way to figure it out is to make your retention like 110, 120%? So to like not have edit points at the very end, like to have like where it like will loop back like on your shorts.
Yeah.
So that you can retain people. And then here's another thing too. We were talking about Maven's YouTube channel. One smart thing that he does is that the ending of his video sneaks up on you. Like you don't know that the ending is coming. And then so he gets that 100% retention rate.
Every time.
Because once you get like, if you're getting like, 80, 90% retention rate, you want that 100.
He just drops the ending out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Unless you're actually like sitting there looking for it, watching that little bar across the bottom of your screen, you're not going to know when it's going to end.
And he makes it seem like it's like, by the way, if you want to learn about this, click this video. And then it, boom, cuts away.
Drops in his little clip arts.
Yeah.
Man.
1 year, man.
It's crazy.
1 year. I don't know. I don't even know where to begin with it, because I think there's a really cool thing happening right now, because I'm sitting where I always sit when we record, and I'm looking at the wall of brothers, and we've got all these signatures of the guests that we've had on the podcast. I know it's only going to grow more from there. Man, I never would have guessed, because we might have gotten into this a little bit before, because I've been kind of hush-hush about certain things and certain aspects of my life. The studio is a spare bedroom in my house that used to be my cat Noodle's room. Yes, my cat had his own room. He was fucking spoiled.
Very.
And when Noodle passed away and my significant other left me, this room just kind of sat dormant. I never thought anything would ever come of it. And now I'm sitting here looking at signatures on my wall of some of the best people that I know. Yeah, Silva, Clark, Davis, Zane Arkham signed it, Jason V, me, you, Logan, Colby. Like I'm just, there's plenty of people up there. Draco, Brian Parker, who's only been on paid show, but he'll be on spot show at some point. But it's just humbling to think that, like, to get real with it, this is the room where I last saw my cat alive. I looked in his eyes as I was putting him in the carrier to take him to the vet. And this room was miserable for me. I just shut the door and forgot I even had this room.
Yeah.
And then now to sit here and think that this room is like responsible for so much happiness in my life. Like it's crazy.
Something beautiful came out of something tragic.
And that's, I think, the best way to describe MadBash Studios is that we were just two guys who were down on their luck.
And the most miserable points are in both of our lives.
Yeah.
That's what a lot of people don't realize. Like, when we started this, we were miserable.
Exactly.
And we came together with a common bond to change our lives around and actually enjoy it. And I think we did a pretty good job doing that.
Jury's still out. No, man, it's crazy that a year ago today, I was looking at that counter, just waiting for it to go up. Like, come on, hit 100 so that we can get this fucking podcast out early, because me and you were excited for it.
Man, that 100 seems like it took forever.
Yeah.
Even though it was only in like under 24 hours, it still seemed like it took forever.
It was something like that, yeah. And I just remember looking at it and being like, okay, we did it. I guess the podcast is going to be going live. So I had it scheduled, and then it went live. And then I'll never forget that first day on the 20th, the screenshots that I would get of people listening to the podcast and messaging us and being like, oh, you're right, I don't think a Forbidden Door could happen, or oh, Forbidden Door would happen, or something like that.
Did you ever listen to the podcast once it went live? Because I personally did not. I didn't want to jinx it. I had that fear, like, if I played it, no one else would listen to it. Like it would have went hidden. That
morning, so up until, I would say probably, man, I don't know. I would say maybe up until around Colby Jack, around that time period when he was the guest, I would always listen to the podcast the day it dropped. Because I'm a masochist and I have to listen to it to edit it. So naturally, let's just throw one more listen into it,
Yeah.
And now, like, I'll just pick it. Like, sometimes I'll re-listen to it or whatever. But yeah, because I did listen to it the first day. And I just remember, like, sitting back and, like, not necessarily cringing, because we've talked about it. I hate the sound of my own voice.
Which is surprising.
Oh, yeah, true. But no, like, I've always had a hard time, like, sitting back and, like, being a fan of my own stuff. Not because I think I'm bad, but it's just because I can't detach myself from it. You know what I mean?
You can't separate you from the gimmick.
Exactly. And I did listen to it the first day. Yeah, I did. And I mean, your first is never going to be your best, and I'm not saying that it was our best at all. It was still very rough around the edges, because we had the microphones for all of
48 hours.
No, longer than about a week, maybe. And then we fucking did it. It's crazy. It's crazy. And we, that's back when we were bi-monthly. And in the long run, being bi-monthly actually is what kept this fucking podcast afloat, because if we wouldn't have been bi-monthly and didn't have a backlog, we would have been fucked because you were in the hospital.
Yeah, because we recorded those backlogs during the time I was in the hospital because you were going to Canada and we couldn't record.
So here's how we did it. We recorded episode 1 and 2 on the same day. And then we didn't like episode 2, so we re-recorded it. Somewhere out there, I might have the audio from the original episode 2.
Wow.
I don't know, though, because I keep all the audio because I'm OCD and obsessive like that. And I'm a hoarder. Do I now?
You got to back that shit up.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one thing that we've learned. You gotta back stuff up. And so help me out here. We then recorded episode 3 was the Weezer one, right? Where Dickie unapologetically loves Weezer.
I believe so.
Okay. So 4 and 5, yes, because 4 and 5 were the Travis Weir brotherings. And so we had recorded 1 and 2, re-recorded 2, and then like a week later, we got Travis over and we recorded his 2, and then we recorded 3. So we recorded out of sequence. We recorded 1, 2, 4, 5, 3.
Yes.
And then before the Travis Weir number 4 went up, that was scheduled to go up. No, we strategically planned it so that an episode wouldn't have to go up while I was in Canada. I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Yeah, because you wouldn't be able to upload it.
Yeah. So then I get back and I immediately recorded the quick update ski. And then the next day was when the Travis Weir episode went up. So it was just, and then we didn't record for a solid like month because we didn't need to. And then when you got out of the hospital, that's when we recorded 6 and 7.
Because we were worried that we weren't going to get to 6 and 7 at all.
There were serious doubts of if MadBash was even going to be around anymore.
I mean, how many times did my doctor tell me there was 80, 90% chance I wouldn't make it off the surgery table?
And I told you it's the scariest text message I've ever received in my entire life. And I only talk about half of it because that part is secret to me. You said getting ready to go into surgery doesn't look good, bro. And you hear me getting choked up a little bit. I just remember, now you're either going to think this is shitty of me or this is a good thing. But my first thought was, we just fucking started MadBash. Like, what are we going to fucking do now? And
I was the optimistic one at the time. I was like, we already got them backlogged. I was like, if anything, just come here and we'll record in the hospital.
We almost did record in the hospital. Yeah. We almost did record, and then you ended up getting out, and then you went to an undisclosed location for before you could be on your own again, and we recorded a couple there. And then, thank God, this was before we were doing Patreon, because you think we have a hard time doing Patreon now? We would have been terrible back then.
We'd have been screwed.
Then absolutely just, it wouldn't have happened, but...
Because, I mean, we almost had to bring Travis in to record, because we didn't know if I was going to get out, something was going to happen to me. Because we originally planned to record in the hospital one day, and they ended up taking me into surgery that same day.
Yep. I remember the text message. I said, hey, brother, I don't think he's going to be it. Can you record? And Travis was ready. He said, just tell me. He said, just tell me when to be here.
He was ready to step up for me.
Yep, he was. And Travis knows what he's doing. He used to host a podcast, so he would have been good. There was a very real possibility that MadBash would have been Travis Weir and Dickie Wabash, or it would have been just Dickie Wabash, because you got to think about it. Clayton wasn't on board yet. Dalton wasn't on board yet. We had the relationship with EPW, but not to the level that we have now. Like,
those first 2 months, the only people that were actually here and supportive of MadBash and like willing to do the work was us, Travis, and then Ronnie even said he would help out with whatever he could.
Yeah, Ronnie did. He said, if you need me to come on, like, just to help because of Madrox being, because we were still relatively newcomers to what was going on in the business. And then, the Midwest Collective came around, and that was your goal, was to be ready for the Midwest Collective. And you were. And
got out of the hospital that Thursday. We recorded that Friday?
Yeah.
And then the Midwest Collective that Saturday.
Man, What a fucking road that we have been on, brother. But enough doom and gloom. I mean, we'll probably segue back.
I don't consider that area doom and gloom. I consider that area what we were willing to go through just to keep this damn thing going.
Exactly. I agree. I think that it showed the tenacity that we have, and I think
passion for this thing.
Exactly. And it showed the willingness, I think, to be like, hey, this thing is not going anywhere. Like we have planted our flag. MadBash is here. Boom. Let's fucking go. Let's
for the
fucking
listeners
go.
who haven't listened, there's a little update ski on Michael Madrox. I think it's like between episode 6 and 7.
No, I just said it's between 3 and 4.
Oh, it's between 3 and 4?
Yep.
You can go back to that and you can listen to Dickie Madrox get choked up and cry on a microphone.
He just did a minute ago. But yeah, and that was funny because that was recorded literally before I left for the hospital to go see you, like just to visit you. Because I was up there. I wasn't up there every day. Because you were in there, what, a month and a half, roughly? Yeah. About a month and a half.
You were in there at least every other day, though.
Not even, yeah, I was up there more often than not.
You were up there for every surgery.
I was up there for every surgery. I was up there, like, even if it was just 10 minutes or so, I would still drop by, be there with you. And then we would obviously talk all the time. We would always text and
call each other.
Shit like that. But never forget Michael Madrox eating his omelets and 2 pudding cups.
Okay, but dude, hear me out. Cafeteria food and hospital food are 2 different things. Because what you can go down there as a guest and
hospital
order,
cafeteria food, though. Oh, as a guest and then as someone in the... Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's completely different. They don't give the people that are actually staying in there the good shit.
Yeah, because it's all got to be healthy and it's got to be...
portion right and all that crap.
Like, you know, whatnot. But, yeah, you would get your omelet. What would you have in your omelet? Bacon, right? You would get your omelet.
Bacon and ham.
Bacon and ham omelet, strips of bacon, right? And then you would get a side of bacon.
Yep.
And then you would get 2 chocolate pudding cups.
Sugar-free chocolate
Sugar had to
cups.
be sugar-free because you ain't trying to lose more of that foot.
Hell no.
But, so I'll start with you on this one. What is your favorite moment from the last year?
Oh, man, that's too hard. Like, how could you not put calling the first MadBash wrestling match with Shank and Dalton Davis up there? How could you not call it announcing the MadBash Wrestling Championship? How could you not have it being little Logan Madrox officially signing a training for the first time ever? How could you not have it being the launch of the Spot Show podcast? How could you not say it's not having you who sponsor you? How can you not say it's not having so many more things, dude?
So now that you've blown the spot and just named everything.
Yes.
If you had to pick one, though, gun to your head, you got to pick one.
As a father, I would pick the Logan Madrox training. As a mark for myself, it would be calling the first MadBash wrestling match.
Yeah.
Because that was very emotional and special.
Yeah, we all cried that night, I think. Like, Dalton's talked about it. He got a little emotional in the ring. He, I walked over and hugged him and said, I love you. And then I hugged you. And like, we fucking did it, man. We fucking did it. Yeah, for me personally, while that is up there, and then, you said yours, then I'll say mine, then we'll elaborate on them more. For me personally, I would have to say my favorite moment of the last year is unveiling the championship belt.
That's a good one as well, man.
That's my favorite one because that's literally something from nothing.
Actually, can I change mine?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Just to be a mark for myself here. The Midwest Collective, having Logan push me out in a wheelchair after being out of the hospital for the first time in the public and having so many friends and family there to share that moment with me. I think that was my personal highlight. Knowing that I overcame every fucking thing and did it.
Mm-hmm. And then as your brother, like, to see it, like, I remember walking out and, Hash Pipe by Weezer is playing and I'm walking out. I was like, I'm in Terre Haute again. Let's fucking go. And then I was like, oh, but I didn't come alone. I didn't come alone. And then boom, here you come. And I was just like, oh my God. It was just like, what is going on here? Like, what is life right now? And then we got to call some of the, which no discredit to any other show that we've worked, but I think the Midwest Collective is the best show that we've ever called.
Really?
I think so. It's a tie between the Midwest Collective and Stay Strong, Keep Fighting with EPW.
So,
or no, sorry. Eclipse. Yeah. EPW, Eclipse, and Hybrid Championship Wrestling Midwest Collective are the two best shows that we've called.
I could agree with that. Definitely could agree with that. The Midwest Collective was different, though, because there was a lot of guys we weren't familiar with.
Yeah, it was different. It was different
It
for
made
us
us step up our game.
Yeah.
Right then and there on the spot.
Yeah. And I'm going to go on record and say probably the best match that we've ever called in terms of our performance and of what was going on in the ring was Ace Perry versus Jake something.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
That one's up there. That is the one match where if I'm going to show someone like this is what MadBash commentary is about, I'm showing them Jake something versus Ace Perry, and then I'm showing them Dalton Davis versus Logan Myers.
I would also throw in Rahit and Brannigan.
Rahit and Brannigan was good. Yeah, that was another good one. Because that's the one where I went, this is the greatest fucking thing I've ever seen. I don't know, man. We were on it for the Hybrid Eliminator as well. I knew that hey, you know what? 1 year anniversary.
Bringing them on.
You know, it wouldn't be the 1 year anniversary if this phone call didn't happen. Clayton Clark, you are live on the Spot Show podcast.
How's everybody doing?
Good. We're just we're reminiscing over the last year, man. This is the 1 year anniversary podcast.
You know, I was going through my phone memories the other day, and I seen it was like a year ago. Yesterday was whenever me and Johnny Poke wrestled Cecil Cerveza and Maverick at Elite, and here we are going to be at Elite this Saturday, and we have another tag team match. So what a year!
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
I was just calling to complain about how I'm booked against Cecil again, but I'll let you guys enjoy the little Spot Show podcast. Hello to the viewers.
Favorite memories.
Before you go, though, Clayton, since we got you, we were just talking about our favorite. What is your favorite MadBash moment over the last year?
Anyone where I've won.
I knew he was going to say it. I knew he was going to say it.
Yeah, that's just me.
All right, Clayton. We'll talk to you later.
Adios.
It wouldn't be the Spot Show podcast without Clayton Clark calling. You know it.
When's Dalton gonna call?
No, I specifically told him not to. I was like, brother, we're gonna be recording. Don't call. But I knew it. I fucking knew it. I knew Clayton was gonna be calling me. I just had that feeling. But yeah, to take it back though, I think that if you really want to embody what we're about when it comes to commentary, like those are some very good examples. Those are some really good examples of, and then if you just want to hear us having fun, the pool party match, Matt Maverick and John Scrutch. Like if you want to hear like fun MadBash, that's the match for you. That's the match to go back and listen.
I would say if you want to hear fun, you do the Keep Strong and Keep Fighting EPW show, the whole fucking show.
Yeah, we were
on our fuck shit that show.
Yeah, Stay Strong, Keep Fighting. That was September. I believe it was, because Eclipse was in November. Are you getting the shows mixed up like I was?
Whatever the one in Washington was.
They both were in Washington.
Were they?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Well, name a match. I'll tell you what show it was.
Chase Stevens versus the other dude.
Exactly. That was...
not the Sam Knight one.
Yeah, that was Eclipse.
Was it Eclipse?
Yeah.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
That one.
See, I think our Eclipse performance was better than our Stay Strong, Keep Fighting performance. But, you know, we're splitting hairs here. I think that those are some really good, like...
It's our damn birthday. Let's toot our own horn. Every show's good.
Yeah, if you really want to see like what we're about, like as performers, like those are the matches that I think that you can really go back on and be like, yeah, this is the embodiment of what And I think the best way to put it is if you want a good Michael Madrox and Dickie Wabash match, go watch Ace Perry versus Jake something. If you want a good 3-person team with me, you, and Colby, I would say go watch Whiskey and Warrens versus DC Black.
And if you're just looking for a good time, go watch LMNOP on the Patreon page.
We got to make more of those too.
Oh, dude, I love doing those.
We really do.
That line cook street fight, brother.
The line cook street fight, man. Brian is the line cook street fight. That's my favorite joke that I've ever put in anything. We got Brian, and it's just Jason V. That was a young Jason V, for those of you that didn't know, for those of you that watched it. But yeah, there's definitely going to be more LMNOP rolling into it. We got a lot of stuff down the pipe that we need to be that we need to focus on more. But anyways, yeah, man, that's the thing, is that you can definitely see the progression of our ability. Not really our ability, because the ability was always there. I think you can really see the evolution of our performances.
Mm-hmm. They keep getting
naturally
better. They keep getting better. We're aging like a fine wine over here.
Yeah, I would agree. I was trying to think of a quick little comeback to be like, well, I don't drink wine, brother. I'm straight edge as straight edge can be. The only reason that you don't know that I'm straight edge is because I don't worship at the cult of CM Punk, and I don't have to promote the fact that I'm sorry, I shouldn't speak ill of CM Punk. I might upset some people. But anyways, yeah, man, that's the thing, is that, and that's what I think should always be your focus, is that you should be better than your last performance.
Absolutely.
Not saying that your last performance is bad necessarily, because it's going to be just growth, and you're not stagnant.
Never get content.
Never get content and never get complacent. That's the issue that a lot of people face, not just in wrestling, but in life in general. Now, with that being said, I have always said in any endeavor that I do that, and this is just going to, I know the answer to your question already, because it's obvious what the answer to this question is. If you're not better than you were a year ago, why are you still doing it? Are we better than we were a year ago?
Probably not.
Okay, well then, guys, we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys. That was it.
No, we absolutely are. We absolutely
hands
are.
over heels, man.
Yeah. And I think that we get more into how much better we're doing after we hear a word from our sponsor. This episode of the Spot Show podcast is brought to you by MadBash Wrestling presents Ascend the Throne. March 19th in Noble, Illinois, some of the top stars from MadBash Wrestling and IWA Unlimited are going to be competing to crown the first ever MadBash Wrestling champion. You are going to see competitors like Dalton Davis, Clayton Clark, Jared Savage, Chris Cutler, and so many more competing to crown the first ever MadBash Wrestling champion. For more details, you can visit madbashstudios.com and follow the links to all of our various social media websites. So my philosophy has always been that if you're stagnant and you're not better than you were when you started, or if you were the year prior, you really need to reevaluate some things. I'm not saying be done. I'm just saying maybe
it's time to change stuff up a bit.
Drop back and punt is what I'm getting at here. And I would definitely say that we are in a better position than we were last year.
Oh yeah, the chemistry keeps growing, especially with like Colby Jack, with the workers, like just coming into it. Like we had no idea what this podcast was going to be about.
No,
we had nothing. We were just like, let's just talk. We like to talk.
I was like, look, let's just talk about the current state of wrestling, because around this time last year was a boom period. We're still in a boom period, but by the way, here's something that I want to just point out. You know, we did the predictions.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, we could not have been more off on all of our... Dude,
we haven't hit any points.
No, I technically have a little bit of a point, because Bailey did leave Damage Control. So I made the prediction that Bailey leaves Damage Control, and then War Games is going to be Damage Control versus the 4 Horsewomen. So hopefully I get partial credit for that one, because Bailey did in fact leave Damage Control. But anyways, like, no, dude, like, that is just what we wanted to do, is we wanted to just talk about the state of wrestling. And like, now we really don't talk much about the world of what's going on TV. We do a little bit, but we're an independent wrestling podcast, man.
Yeah.
You know, we just like to talk about not necessarily our bubble, but
Our perspective pretty much. And that's just what we keep doing. You know, we'll throw a retro show review in there every so often, which, spoilers for next week.
Hint.
We, you know, like, you know, I mentioned her at the beginning, but last review that we did, Brittany messaged me and she said, I don't even know what you guys are talking about half the time in the reviews, but they're my favorite ones. Because she doesn't watch the show. She just hears us explaining the show, which is a terrible way to, yeah, like, we even, as of yesterday, was it yesterday or 2 days ago, that we got a message from somebody saying that they're happy with what we're doing and they're a big fan of what we're doing. And to always hear that feedback from you guys, like, that really does mean a lot. Like, we've said it from the very beginning. We're building this with, not for, we're building it with you guys.
We should get a fan on here.
Yeah, that would be a different,
just to hear their perspective of like what they think's actually happening here and what in reality they're walking into.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree, because like, it's kind of going to be one of those of like, so why do you like us? sort of thing or whatever. But no, and I mean, we don't even need to do that, because like, even when we go to shows, people will come up and talk to us and be like, hey, here's what I like about what you're doing. Not just fans, but like the boys in the back too. Yeah, that's pretty much like they, you know,
which is great hearing the criticism from both sides of the fence.
It's always great. We are building this with everyone. That's what our goal is. We know that we are not in this alone. We know that we have people supporting us, and we know that we're going to support you. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like, I made that post on the MadBash page about a week or so ago about the MadBash armbands. And just said, look, if you see someone rocking this armband in the ring, just know that you're about to see some of the best in the Midwest. Not just in-ring performance-wise, but just know if they're in the locker room, go up to them. Don't feel scared to ask them for advice.
This is what we talked about on whatever podcast it was when we announced the MadBash boys. We were like,
talking about paying it forward.
We want these guys to go into any locker room. You see somebody with a MadBash shirt, a MadBash armband, go up. They're there to help you. They're there to make you better. They're not going to shit on you. They're going to critique your matches. They're going to watch you and help build you. Like,
we are a clique. Just get that out of there right now. We are a clique. We're all for one, and we're one for all. But we're out here to just make the business better. Yeah. In whatever way that we can. Dalton Davis's philosophy on wrestling might not be the same as Silva's, might not be the same as Cutler's, as Clayton's, as Dickie, as Madrox, but we make this amalgamation and we are able to come together.
Like
and
Voltron.
Essentially, I was going to say more of like a massive fusion dance, but
I don't watch Dragon Ball Z.
Well, I don't watch Voltron.
I picked up the reference, though.
At least you did. I'm proud of you.
I've never watched Voltron either. It's the first robot that popped in my head.
I'm surprised you didn't make a
Megazord. That's what I should have done.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you didn't. Dude, I saw a meme today. It was a picture of the guy that wrote the Power Rangers theme, and it said, "This is the guy that wrote the Power Rangers theme, and he looks just like the guy that would write the Power Rangers theme." Because like he just had that look about him of like, of course this guy wrote
a strip of a comic earlier that had like a Buddy Holly appearing live in concert.
Yeah.
And it was two kids walking and they're like, that's not Buddy Holly. And then it had the Weezer guy.
Rivers Cuomo.
And he's like, I don't like it.
Yeah, because I look just like Buddy Holly.
I almost tagged you in it, but I was like,
That's another one, dude.
Weezer shit.
we've just taken a dumb fuck inside joke that Weezer is my favorite band. And we've made something out of it.
I'm still waiting for you to mow the damn grass in your white New Balances, brother. You got that barbecue party coming. Summer is here.
And it feels like summer. No, that's just another thing, too. It's like, even though he's a pain in my ass, like Matt Maverick, he's just as much a part of MadBash as anyone else
Like,
is.
I had no idea that a year ago people would listen to our stupid little arguments and quips about shit and then come
take
up
sides.
to us and take sides. Are like people coming up to me and being like, oh my God, big stupid popcorn. I want a turkey pan t-shirt. It's like, why?
Yeah. And then my favorite one is Johnny Poke. We talking about Weezer? Man, Weezer kicks ass. And then be like, yeah, fuck yeah, Poke. And me giving him a fucking high five. That was funny. That's one of my favorite Johnny Poke moments. It was so fucking funny.
Like, it's crazy. Like, no one wants like MadBash shit. They want our little inside jokes as merch.
But that's still MadBash shit, though.
I know,
that's
but
stuff
like,
that we've built in our ecosystem.
It's crazy, dude. Like, it's our own multiverse now.
Don't get started. The multiverse was a weird one.
You lost your damn mind on that.
I also want to reiterate that I've evolved and I've changed as a person.
Oh, you would change your multiverse?
Because I feel like that over the course of the year, you know, we gotta look back on things and we have to change a few things every now and then. I would not marry Scarlett Johansson.
Really?
It would not be Scarlett Johansson.
Who would it be now?
Christy Carlson Romano from Even Stevens. I am absolutely smitten over that woman. And I have been ever since I was 13 or whatever, whenever I was watching Even Stevens. It's weird to have a crush that like follows you throughout your entire life.
Amy Jo Johnson, brother.
Exactly. Christy Carlson Romano.
Get it.
You're not the only one though. Like everyone says, oh, Amy Jo Johnson. It's like, no, like that's the way that people feel about Amy Jo Johnson. Like that's how I feel about Christy Carlson Romano. That's my crush that has followed me through life. So with that being said, we call this a segue. What is your favorite moment from the Spot Show podcast specifically? And I mean, as a father, probably when we had Logan on.
No, I'm fuck Logan on this one. My favorite moment was having Jason fucking V walk through that door and sit in this fucking studio, which I'm dubbing Studio Noodle, by the way. You're welcome.
Studio Noodle?
Studio Noodle. I'm getting a
Okay.
fucking sign for the door and everything. I just thought of that. No burrito needed. But dude.
Yeah, so time out. Madrox, like I know when like I'll just get a random phone call from Madrox. Doesn't matter. It's like usually around this time, because we're recording about 5 o'clock right now. Hey dude, I was just microwaving a burrito and I had an idea. Like all of your ideas come when you're microwaving a burrito.
Oh, man, one of the greatest treasures I learned from Pauly Shore.
So anyway,
having Jason V walk through the studio doors, sit down here and be on the guest. That's my fucking favorite moment from the Spot Show.
Yeah.
Top that one, Dickie.
That was a really cool. That was a full circle moment. Probably for me, it's a recent one, but it's not my favorite, but it's up there, where I was getting shoot mad at you over the lesbians group. Where you were like,
love that bit too.
You were trying to say that it was a real group, and I'm like, and I was like shoot naming you, and I'm like, no, that didn't fucking happen. It happened. It was not a group. Oh, it happened in 05. It was in 02. And you're just like, oh, I'm just making shit up. And you were like, so like you had this fake confidence about yourself that it was like, dude, just shut the fuck up.
I wasn't making it up. I really thought it, motherfucker.
I know, but like even after you were proven wrong, you were still sticking to it, and it was just really fucking funny to me. But anyway,
Dusty.
Yeah, Dusty. Listen, for me, see, I do this all the time. I asked the question I was not prepared to have an answer. The Weezer discussion was a good one.
The Dickie Shoot interview is a good one about Danville Dreamers.
The Dickie Shoot interview about Danville Dreamers was good. Man, the first time we had Clayton on was a good podcast. That's one of my favorite podcasts. The first time we had Clayton on. The first time we had Dalton on was another really good one. First time we had Jared on was another. It was a fun one to talk about video games and whatnot.
It was totally different from what normal podcasts with Jared Savage are.
Yeah, and then his paid show was just Spot Show. We just interviewed him. It was really cool. If there have been many people that have told me that the Jared Savage paid show is their favorite paid show.
Really?
Yeah.
And all we did was flip the script on it.
There's been a few people that have told me that the Jared Savage paid show was their favorite paid show, but
I'm bringing Jared Savage out of retirement. For those that don't know, Jared Savage used to be a rapper. I think Jared Savage needs to rap a MadBash song.
See, you talk. He's told me he was going to send me links of him rapping, and I'm like, please.
Oh, brother, I got him.
Do you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, please. What was his rapper name?
Shit, what was it? For a while, he was J-Rod, I think.
J-Rod.
I don't fucking remember. But, dude,
Goddamn.
They're out there. They're out there.
Hell yeah. So yeah, I think my favorite. I'm gonna agree with you. Having Jason V come into the studio and record with him.
J-Bait was his rap name.
J-Bait. Why?
Because an older lady was interested in him, so they started calling him Jailbait.
Oh, okay. So he would go by J-Bait.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's incredible. Fucking hilarious. So,
I think that's the next big announcement.
What?
MadBash the album.
Then we're gonna release it. We have joked about that. We have
it
very
needs
much
to
joked
fucking
about
happen,
that.
dude. Could you
It's
imagine
like-
Clayton Clark on a country song, Jared Savage on a rap track,
Yeah.
Dalton Davis doing whatever the fuck he does?
Oh my god. Shank Barzini just screaming through a metal song.
Shank Barzini's gonna be doing a pop song.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Why do I feel like Oliver would do a Shawn Michaels-esque song?
Oliver's the R&B soul doctor, brother.
The Rizzled Veteran. That's another proud accomplishment that I think that goes really not really underappreciated, but it goes unsaid about MadBash, is that we are working with not only our past, but okay, let me rephrase that, because they're still in the present, but we're working with stars from the past that are still in the present and working with stars from the future that are like starting to grow. Do you see what I'm saying here? So like we're
working with guys that we broke in with.
Yeah, and then guys that, that's a better way to put it, because you got Shank, Oliver, and then you got Clayton and Cutler, and then you got like Dalton, who is like in the middle somewhere.
He's still a young boy.
Because I said this, Dalton Davis is I'm always going to view Dalton Davis as my chubby young boy. I just am. And because I remember his first match when he was referee. It was him as referee. And another fun fact, it was Cole Radrick's first official wrestling match, where he was wearing Michael Madrox's old gear, which I don't know. Have we confirmed this?
Parker has.
Okay. But we never figured out how he got it.
He got him from me at a TSW show.
Okay, that's why. That explains that. Okay. Yeah.
Mama Davis and JD bought a bunch of my old gear that they still haven't paid me for.
We're coming for receipts, brother. But I was going to say, let's talk about the future a little bit. But, I mean, we talk about what's coming down the pipeline so much that, like, we can talk about what we see for the future coming, I guess. Like, I think it's the sky. I'm not even going to say the sky's the limit, because there is no limit. And I think we've said that before about where we're just going to keep, we'll ride that. Clayton has said it before. We'll ride this until Dalton said it. Ride it till the wheels fall off. And then I said, yeah. And then we fucking strap them back on and keep going down the road. There's a bright future for MadBash, and there's a bright future for everyone that's involved with MadBash. No exceptions.
None at all. And like you said, strap the wheels back on it, because we ain't stopping. We're going to have setbacks. Like, I almost fucking died. Still push through it. Like, you think death could stop us? Like, what the hell's a wheel falling off going to do for us? We got AAA, baby. We'll be covered.
We got AAA roadside assistance. We, that wheel falls off, we'll just put it back on. But, yeah, I mean, just you look back at what we've done. I mean, we did the Christmas special. We did Danville Dreamers 2. We announced MadBash Wrestling. We did the Patreon. We got all the shows on Patreon. We got it's crazy to look at the year that we've had. Not to mention the divisions of MadBash that we got studios, and then under studios, we've got Mischievous Rabbit, MadBash Wrestling, MadBash Films. It's just crazy because, like, I guess here's where we're going to start to maybe rap ski a little bit here, kind of, go off, but where we are this year, did we far exceed or not meet, or just kind of in the middle, your expectations?
Didn't you ask this?
Have I asked
in
this
December?
before? Did I ask this in December?
I'm pretty sure.
Fuck it. Asking you again.
It far exceeds my expectations because I came in with nothing in mind other than
Yeah,
I
me
just
too.
wanted to hang out with my best friend some more.
Yeah, and that's really all it is. We talked to two guys.
If you would have told me in December of fucking 2022, me sitting on your damn couch with a Google Pixel phone in front of my face saying, "Hi guys, it's me, Michael Madrox," would have led to all fucking this,
Yeah.
I would have called you a damn liar.
And that's where it all started, that original. And that's
Promo
funny
video.
because the Facebook memories were reminding me of that, of like when our shitty first promo pic that we took in my living room with a black curtain or black sheet hanging in front of my curtains, and it's framed all terrible, horrendous black bed sheet. God damn, man.
We need to recreate that professionally.
Yeah, we do. Absolutely. There was a seminar not too long ago that taught you how to do good promo pics. So
yeah, I just watched that.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah. So, yeah, the sky isn't even the limit because, again, there is no limit. And I think that personally, to say that. So I'm weird when it comes to goals because it's like, not that I think you're setting yourself up for failure, but I think you're undercutting yourself. Because, like, if you're setting one thing as a goal, I mean, good, it's good to be healthy and set that. But, like, you can be cutting yourself short and you can make yourself too singularly focused. And, there are many things that were planned that went a different direction. And, there's only a couple. There's not many. It's not enough to spend an entire podcast talking about. Maybe we'll try to
like our trip to WrestleMania.
Like, we'll talk a little bit more about that stuff on Page Show, I'm sure, because we're going to continue the conversation over on Page Show. So anyway, Page Show, we're going to be talking a little bit more about the Ascend the Throne tournament and stuff like that as well. So look forward to that, you guys on the $5 tier. But it's free brewery, so everyone on Patreon, I guess I should say. But anyway, don't ever set yourself short by making just a goal. Like, you can make your goals, absolutely, but the best laid plans. It reminds me of an old line that I wrote when I was writing a movie script for my Wade Dillon character that I talk about, where the whole idea with Wade Dillon is that he just says the most outlandish shit. And there's a line that he has where he says, "Planning plans for bad plans." If you think about it, that actually makes sense.
That's the most, like, great advice I could ever think of.
Planning plans for bad plans.
Because for those of you that don't know, MadBash was never planned.
There's been, like, I mean, granted, we're more professional now, so I would say anything from the latter half of 2023 on was planned, but everything up to that point was not planned. It was just shit that we were doing.
Oh, man. And everything we did plan, normally plans failed and went the opposite way.
Not even necessarily failed. I'm not going to say, I don't accept a failure.
Yeah.
I'm going to accept...
plans changed.
Plans changed. Yeah. Because we will get into some of those plans that changed on Page Show, obviously, because I have a couple in mind that I just thought of. I don't know though, man. Like, it's crazy. So, Madrox, give them the final go home. Like, man, we've done a pretty good job, but just like overall, I mean, what's your thoughts on the year?
Overall, I just want to again say thank you to everyone who's given us your time, money, effort. Like, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys. Thank you for taking two broken down, beaten, grumpy old men and giving them some motivation to this fucking thing we call life.
Yeah, I don't want to be melodramatic or wax poetic and say that like MadBash saved our lives, but it kind of did. It kind of did. Not that, you know, I mean, you almost died, but like not that we were about to die or anything. I think that, not to say, let me rephrase that. I think it's that it reinvigorated us.
Yeah.
In a way that we spiritually, emotionally, mentally needed. And, you know,
MadBash was the 95 smile that got taken away from Shawn Michaels.
Yeah.
We got it back, baby.
Yeah, we lost our smiles. As you said, our smiles got taken away from us, and we snatched them right back.
Tell me a lie.
But yeah, that's a good way to put it, because it's like, you know, granted, we're back in the wrestling business, and there's still frustrations. There's always going to be frustration. You're always going to be frustrated with everything that you do. You just are. That means that you care. And I think, you know, I look to my left, I look to my right, and I see that I've got a good support system with me. And they know that they can look to their left, they can look to their right, and they have a good support system with them. That's not just you. That's all the MadBash boys. And like, we're just traversing this crazy, crazy world together. We're all just, you know, there's no paint by numbers for this. There really isn't. And certain people can say, oh, here's how you have to do it. Oh, you can do it this way. Well, you know, that may have worked for you. That may not work for us. Our path might be a little bit different than yours. And I think that in some cases, we've made our own.
Absolutely, man. We're clearing out that pasture.
We're just walking through a dense field with a machete. Just,
sometimes in a wheelchair, man.
Sometimes in a wheelchair.
But we're still tearing away at the ground, man. Making it everything ours.
So I'm going to tell you, I'm going to back up a little bit here. And I'm going to tell you my favorite moment of the last year.
Okay. Changing it up already?
Changing it up already. Well, I had already, you had to call me out. I had already planned on this being the closer. You fucking idiot. No, honestly, knowing what you went through last year, the trials, the tribulations, the near-death experiences, the hardships, the calluses on your knees from having to crawl around. Hash Pipe by Weezer hits. Dickie Wabash walks out. He turns around. Marching in the Dark by Low Key hits. Here walks Dustin Flowers through that curtain. And the reason I say Dustin Flowers is because you were not Michael Madrox when you walked through that curtain.
Hell no, it wasn't.
That was you, and you were fucking back, and you basically looked death in the face, and you said, fuck off. I got shit I got to do. I'm going to have fun with my brother. I'm walking through that fucking curtain, because there were times where you didn't know if you're going to walk again.
They told me I'd never walk again, man.
And you proved them fucking wrong.
I said, bullshit, give me a week.
Yeah. So overall, my favorite thing of the last year is just seeing you survive and seeing you kick death in the ass and coming back better than ever in a way. So
I appreciate that, bro.
That's been probably my favorite part of last year, just overall encompassing, you know, the rise and fall and then rise again of Michael Madrox. So
it's crazy to think all that time was just within a year.
Yeah, that's another thing too that I wanted to get on. It's like, we look back over the last year, it feels like 2.
It feels like 4 to me, man.
Oh God, there were some rough patches, and but never to the point of like rough to the point of like, God damn, man, again, like fuck. But yeah, here's to another 20 years, hopefully, or whatever. We'll be sitting here fucking 20 years later, just shooting the shit into microphones.
Our kids will be hosting then. We'll have Alzheimer's.
Yeah. Well, I don't have kids yet. You're saying that within 20 years,
you're going to have kids by then, man. Come on now.
Within 20 years, I'll have a kid willing enough to host a podcast?
My kids will push them to. You know they will.
Yep. Yeah, but all right, guys, again, thank you. Thank you so much. Just thank you. I mean, it's crazy. It's absolutely batshit fucking bonkers to think that we have made it to this level of the stage, you know, that we've made it to this point, for lack of a better term, and, you know, that we've done so much in the last year. We couldn't have done it without you guys. We really couldn't have. We can't
say happy anniversary to us without saying happy anniversary to you guys.
Fair enough. You know, there have been plenty of good, plenty of bad, but you take them both and there you have
the ugly, aka Jared Savage.
The blight of MadBash. But no, guys, for real though, like, it's been an incredible journey. It's been so much fun, and it's only going to get more fun from there. Like, we're just getting started. We are still firing on all cylinders. I'm fucking ready. Madrox is fucking ready. Let's fucking go.
Break out the turkey pans, motherfuckers. Enjoy the ride.
Let's do it. So, hey, here's the thing. We're getting ready to roll into paid ski. For those of you over on the Patreon, as you know, it's free brewery, so you're going to be able to hear this one for free. But any other time is going to be on the $5 tier. But that's the best way to support us. Go over to patreon.com/MadBash Studios. Tons of stuff over there. You can find me on Instagram at DW_mischievous_rabbit, madbashstudios.com, where you can find all of our social media platforms where you can support us, the Patreon, the Facebook, the Instagram, the YouTube, all of that. But
we got TikTok again, brother.
We got the
TikTok.
TikTok.
If you're gonna catch it.
The TikTok will be over on that TikTok. So, for Michael Madrox, I have been Dickie Wabash, and we'll see y'all on Paid Ski.